All right. So I will be playing the role of a clinician who works at a private practice, offering individual therapy. And I will be working with Cheyenne, who is a 23-year-old middle class heterosexual Caucasian female. And she was referred by her primary care physician. The reason for the voluntary referral was for sleep disturbances, headaches, general anxiety, avoidance of driving, and flashbacks. So we will go ahead and get started. Hi, Cheyenne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm so excited to meet you. Thank you for being here today. I wanted to just go over a couple of things with you before we go ahead and get started. Okay.
Okay.
So first, it's just really important for you to know that what you say here does remain here. And so I value confidentiality, and I want you to feel comfortable discussing what's on your mind. And there are a couple exceptions with that I want to be open and honest about. So it's my job to make sure that you are safe as well as those around you. And so if there are any concerns about safety, I do have to share those because I am a mandated reporter. And it's ultimately because we just care about your well being and the well being of those around you. So, do you have any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, today is just going to be an opportunity to kind of get to know one another. And just to hear a little bit about what brings you here today. So, for starters, Cheyenne, can you just tell me about what brought you here today?
Well, I've been having a lot of issues for quite a few years. I'm having a really hard time falling asleep and then staying asleep.
Hmm.
I have severe anxiety, especially about driving, and then have flashbacks also when I'm driving.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that anxiety is when it comes to driving and those flashbacks?
I was in two different car accidents, one when I was 13 and one when I was 17. I was the passenger in both accidents,
Okay.
but I have severe anxiety even driving places and often will have flashbacks to those accidents.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've had a couple pretty intense experiences that have caused some of that anxiety for sure. Okay.
Yes.
So may I ask, does that anxiety also take place then when you are still a passenger in a car?
Mostly yeah, yeah, a lot of the time, specifically if I am a backseat passenger on the
Okay.
driver's side,
Okay.
only because that's where I was at during my first accident.
Hmm.
So I still struggle with sitting in that seat of the vehicle.
Okay. Gotcha. So sounds like some anxiety and just those reoccurrences of experiencing those accidents is kind of what brought you here today.
hmm
Okay. So what is your hope in coming to therapy? What is your hope to get out of it?
I think to make myself more comfortable driving, decrease
Mhm.
the anxiety.
Okay.
Um, the anxiety though is just it's more generalized than just when I'm driving. So it really um affects a lot most parts of my life, I would say.
Okay. Can you share a little bit more about that of just different things that the anxiety you see it's a part of?
I would say social anxiety.
Hmm.
Um, I have a hard time meeting new people or
Okay.
being in situations that in I guess places that I don't know and then situations I'm not familiar with because it always makes me think the worst.
Hmm.
So I tend to get very anxious at those times.
Okay. Did that start before or after your car accidents?
after my car accidents.
Okay. So would you say the anxiety in general just started after the car accidents?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So you have kind of talked about that social anxiety. And so that kind of leads me to ask a little bit about who your supports are in life, your friends, family, if you could tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I do have some friends. I wouldn't say very close friends.
Okay.
Um, I mainly, if I do anything with anybody my age, it's like as a group with my fiance and his
Oh,
friends. Not me going places on my own with female friends. I do have a very strong, supportive nuclear family and extended family. So I am very lucky there. But
mm,
even like at my job, I don't really have friends.
okay.
My coworkers, I don't get very close to.
Okay. Okay. Now, what is it that you do for your job?
I am a paraprofessional at a middle school, and
Oh,
I'm going
fun.
to school to be a special education teacher.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that. That's great. So you mentioned a fiance. Congratulations. Can
Thank
you tell
you.
me a little bit about your relationship? It sounds like, with spending so much time with him and his friends, that's kind of been more of a safety net for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's very supportive of me. Um, and I get along. I guess really I've always gotten along with males more than females.
Hmm,
So I'm closer with his friends than other females. I think part of that is just again my anxiety of
mm,
like and fear of other females judging me
okay.
um for some of my issues.
Hmm. What makes you kind of talk like mention other females judging you for issues? Have you had past experiences with that?
I don't mm, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times people don't understand the mental health. Like
Hmm.
I will like have friends call me and invite me to go do things like later on in the week, and it always sounds like a great idea at that point in time,
Okay.
but then when the day comes I get so anxious about it that I end up canceling my plans. So I
Mm,
worry about them judging me because I never follow through with my plans.
okay. I see. Can understand that. And that sounds really tough. It sounds like you really want to go spend that time, but that anxiety kind of takes a hold of you in that.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what that anxiety looks like specifically for you?
Um, a lot of it is like a racing heart for sure.
Mm, okay.
Like clammy hands. My mind just doesn't stop. It goes all the time. And I think that's probably the problem with not being able to fall asleep because I'm
Mhm.
constantly thinking or worrying about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It's very insightful for you to recognize that that could be correlated to the reason that you're not able to sleep. So, but it sounds like you also are just experiencing a lot of the physical symptoms of anxiety, the heart racing, clamminess, just the physical reaction to that. So,
Yes.
okay. So tell me a little bit. About your ultimate goal. We've talked about that anxiety that you really want to work on and making effort to kind of overcoming some of the fear about driving. So what is your first top goal for yourself?
Mm, I would say the anxiety because I think a lot of my issues stem from that.
Okay.
So I would say the anxiety first. I want to get back to who I was as a person before
Mm,
my car accidents.
okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what you mean when you're saying who I was versus who you are now?
I guess just the laid back and fun, not having to
Mm,
worry about everything, just kind of go with the flow and be able to do things.
okay. Well, awesome. Sounds like you have a lot of that just internal knowledge about yourself already, which is amazing. And so we definitely will have some opportunity to work on looking at those triggers of the anxiety and how to kind of establish those coping skills for anxiety and navigate that together. So I'm really looking forward to that. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it sounds like we have some great goals ahead of us, and I really look forward to getting to work with you. And I will see you next week, Cheyenne.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. You mentioned that you and your mom didn't have the strongest relationship before, but now you do. So, what has changed in that?
Um, I moved away for college for 2 years,
Okay.
and that's when my depression and anxiety really increased. And I began,
Well, I am so sorry about that. Joys of telehealth. You got to meet the cat.